Hello and welcome. Today I want to teach you how to do a hanging Cluny using a needle. Okay, and there are things you're going to need for this technique, and this is what you're going to end up with. This is a hanging Cluny, and what it does is it hangs off like a leaf of a petal, of a flower or something like that. It's a nice element to add to your tatting. Okay, and it gives a little bit more dimension to it. So let's get on with it, and I'm going to teach you how to make the hanging Cluny. Okay, so first off, you're going to need your needle, and you're going to thread it with about 12 inches of thread. You don't need a lot. Okay, you don't need a long tail off of it. Okay, something small, simple, easy to work with. All right, you're going to need a ball of thread. You're also going to need either a flosser. Okay, these are the gum floss threaders. They sell these. They've got so they carry them in the sewing department at most of your craft stores. So look for them. They may not have the name gum on them. I just bought these in the dental department at the pharmacy. So these work great for tying in ends, things like that. But you want to either use gum floss threaders or a piece of thread as long as you need it. Okay, something you can work with. Okay, and because I'm going to be doing it on the loom, I'm going to use the thread so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So let's get it all in gear. Let's get everything threaded up so we can get started with our hanging Cluny. First and foremost, you're going to take this one scrap of thread, put it in the center part of the loom. Now, if you were going to do this on your hand, I'm going to show you. You take your ball thread, okay, wrap it around your hand as if you were going to do a ring. Bring it across the top, okay. This thread here would lay right in between your floss threader or this thread. What I do when I'm using thread is I hook it on my finger to give it a little more stability. That's going to sit right in between those two threads. Okay, this thread that is on the needle is going to lay right here as well. It's all going to lay in one little neat pile right here in the pinch. Alright, now you can tie a knot in it, whatever you want to do, but if you do tie a knot, you're going to have problems. So just leave it all loose. Now remember, when you're finished with your hanging Cluny, you'll be able to continue on in your work, continue with your chains and stuff. However, you're going to have to hide all these ends that are dangling. Okay? So, now we're going to work this on the loom so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put that blue thread right there. Okay? Then we're going to take our red thread. Take the tail of it, put it in the pinch. Okay, because it's going in the center, or going around the edges of the blue thread, excuse me. You drape it around the outermost two dowels and bring it back down into the pinch. Give yourself plenty of room to work with that thread. Okay. Bring everything down, get everything laid into place, and put it in the pinch. Next comes our needle. This is our weaving thread. It's going to lay in the pinch. Okay? And it may take some doings, but you can adjust. You haven't started stitching anything, so you can adjust. This is just to practice your Cluny. Alright? Now, we're ready. We got everything set up. Our blue threads in the center, the red threads to the outside. Our loom is set up. We've got our weaving thread in the pinch. First thing, this thread here is what you're going to go under with your needle. Pull that thread up. Pull it down to the pinch. You're going to go over that center thread and under that outer thread. Now, pull the two threads that are outer together till you get a nice little V there at the bottom. Okay? Now you're going to go over this thread and under the blue thread and over the red thread. Once you get going on this hanging Cluny, you're going to be able to do one whole half of a wrap in one swipe. And as you're going, pull those threads down. Use your needle, pull them down, snug them up, and move on to the other half of that wrap. As with regular Clunies, one wrap consists of going to the left and then to the right. So you're going to go 1, 2, and that's one wrap. Okay? So here we go. Let's do our hanging Cluny. And you're going to go until you get your Cluny to the size that you need. Okay? Whatever the pattern calls for. The pattern calls for, say, 8 wraps. Okay? We're going to do 8 wraps. And a wrap is, this is half of the wrap going this way. The other half of that wrap is this way. Okay? And that would be one full wrap. So you just continue on with however many wraps it says that you need to do until your Cluny is finished. Okay, I'm going to put in a few more stitches and start bringing it down. A few more wraps. Start bringing it down in size. And what you want this to shape like is a leaf. As you can see, it's going out. We want to start coming back in. So let's do that. And as you do, you pull your tension in. Okay? And you keep it in the pinch. Pull your tension in just a hair. If you pull too much, you can slack out on your tension. It'll straighten it out. Work your threads down. Okay? Now, we're going to call this the end of our Cluny. Now we're done our Cluny. We're ready to move on. What you're going to do with this needle, take it up under the red, right in between either your floss thread or loop or the 2 threads that meet. Take it off your needle. It's not connected anymore. Reach up in there and pull that thread down just a little in that loop so that you don't have a lot of thread to contend with. Okay, so you can see right here, that's about how much thread you need. The next thing you're going to do, take this blue thread off, and you're going to gently reach down below, okay, and you're going to start pulling those 2 blue threads, okay, and it's going to pull, keep your tension, that green thread right down into it. Okay, well, we're pulling the wrong ones. There we go. When you feel it go into the Cluny, continue to pull that thread. Your blue thread will come off. That's why you don't want to tie knots. Okay, and you want to pull it down to where you have a little loop. See our loop? Then you take the red thread off. And you're going to grab the thread that is still joined to the ball, not your tail. And you're going to start pulling. Okay? Pull it down till you close that Cluny. Now, you can either leave this little loop right here to join to for another element, or you can completely close it to finish that Cluny petal off. And there you have it. You have a hanging Cluny. And all your tails are here at the end. Now, when you go to move on, all right, you rethread your needle and continue on. Okay, here is your ball thread, here is your needle thread. So all you would have to do is hide these 2 ends. Okay, so I hope you've learned something. I hope this taught you how to do a hanging Cluny on a needle, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. All information pertaining to the hanging Cluny and any information you need for this class is down below in the description box. Do join us in the classes. you'll find that you're going to have a lot of fun and you're going to learn a lot more than I can teach on video. So until next time, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and happy tatting.